Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. So someone commented on one of my other videos asking me if I could do a recommendations video based on school-based books. And by that she said she meant stories that take place at like boarding schools, kind of like Anna and the French Kiss. That's the example she gave me. So I decided to put together this list. This was a little bit difficult for me to do because there are so many stories that take place at boarding schools. So I just picked a couple that I really enjoy. The first one that I feel like I have to mention is A Separate Peace by John Knowles. This is considered an American classic and I think it's considered one of the first boarding school type stories. I don't know if this will be to everyone's taste. I feel like people either love or really hate this book. This one, it takes place in the 1940s, right around World War II, in a boarding school in New Hampshire that's an all-boys boarding school, and it follows two characters as they're, growing up, coming of age. That's just how all of these boarding school stories generally go. Next up is Spud by John Vanderroot. I love this book. It's one of my all-time favorite books and I think it was just so funny and so well written. This one takes place in 1990 and it follows Spud as he goes to an all-boys boarding school in South Africa. Again, it's just really funny. It's really lighthearted. It makes fun of all the awkwardness that is being a teenage boy. I highly recommend this book. Next up is The Secret Society Girls series by Diana Petrifund. I mentioned this in some of my older videos. This story takes place in college actually, and it basically is Yale University but not Yale, and it follows this girl who ends up joining a secret society at the university that was formerly an all-male society, and then that year they happened to open it up to females. There are 4 books in this series and each book follows a semester, so it follows, I believe, her last 2 years of university. And I thought this is just a really fun, really lighthearted read. And then there is the Gala series by Allie Carter. I've only read the first one, I Tell You I'd Love You But Then I Have to Kill You, but I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. If you don't know, this follows an all-girls spy boarding school, so it's a little bit of a twist on the trope. And it's just a lot of fun. Teenage girls and solving mysteries or learning how to be spies is just always going to be a lot of fun. So if you're looking something within this genre, definitely check this one out if you haven't already. And then my final recommendation is Gelco Road by Marlena Marchetta. I read this book earlier this year and I absolutely loved it. This one is more serious, so if you want something fun and lighthearted, this isn't really the book for you, but if you want something more serious that's also set in a boarding school, definitely check this one out. I have a review for this one up on my channel, so I'll leave a link to that down in the description for you guys if you're interested in more information about this book. But really enjoyed this book. It has a little bit of a mystery element to it and you go into it not really sure where the story's going, and I don't think it ends up where anyone expects it to end up, or at least I didn't expect it to end up there, so highly recommend this book. Now those are just 5 recommendations, but there are so many boarding school stories out there. You can check out the Shades of London series, which includes The Name of the Star and the Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson, which takes place at a boarding school in London. There is The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks that I personally didn't enjoy, but I know a lot of people do enjoy. There's the Hex Hall series, which is basically like a boarding school plus paranormal. So yeah, those are my recommendations on my school related books. If you guys have read any of these books or if you have any other suggestions about school-based books, I actually really enjoy this trope a lot, so I actually wouldn't mind a couple of suggestions myself. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave your comments down below. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.